District 10-3A, Division 1 opened up play tonight, and boy, did we have a good one over in Cameron.
We did. The Yeomen come in number 3 in the state, while Troy sits at 3-1.
Yeah, the Trojans had a big week last week at Hillsborough, coming homecoming night at Yo Field. The team presented a fan-signed jersey for her 99th birthday. Awesome on that one. Opening drive for Yo. Braden Bashir fires to his right. Sam Jones picks it off, returns it to deep into Yeoman territory. Ensuing drive, handoff goes to Zachary Boschik, who fakes out Curtis Quillen. Come on, Curtis, you're a pro, Chief. Goes to his right, 5 yards, and Troy strikes first. Troy would later add a field goal off of a Yo fumble. So 10-0 still in the first. Brashear goes to Kobe Young in the flat, but watch this. Cody Comiskey strips the football, forces the third Yo turnover here in just a second. And then also ensuing drive, Jones with the handoff, 10 yards out. Troy jumps out to a 7-0 lead. That is to Du Bois, 18 yards, he's shedding tacklers, 17-7. Troy on top. Then we start the second quarter. Ben Presley finds Bo Workman, 69 yards to the house. Troy takes a 24-7 lead. And
wow.
Right now, look at this
score. Look at that score.
59-35 on the road, late fourth quarter. Let's go up to Curtis Quillen.
This week's Game of the Week is sponsored by Baylor Scott and White Health.
All right, Curtis Quillen's been at this game from the very beginning. He joined us live from Yo Field, where the Yeomen right now getting stunned by Troy.
Yeah, Nick, that sums it up pretty easily there. The Yeomen getting stunned in this one on their first 3 drives of the game. And keep in mind, Cameron Yo received the game's opening kickoff. They resulted in turnovers. A Braden Brashear interception on the first drive sets up a Zach Herbacek touchdown on the first drive for Troy. Then the Yeomen put it on the ground on the next drive after Troy helmet gets put on it. That's a Troy field goal, 10-0. Next drive for Yo. The receiver gets stripped on the sideline in the process of getting tackled. So Troy takes over in Yo territory again, 17-0, and they have not looked back. Troy has the ball now inside 2 minutes in this one. 59-35, the current Troy lead. Yo trying to get something going on this final drive. Flag is down on this one. A minute 45 left to play in this one, Nick, and it looks like the Troy Trojans are about to flip District 10-3A Division 1 on its head. As the preemptive favorite and the number 3 team in the state, looks like it is going to go down in its district opener. And keep in mind, there is still a lot of football left to be played in this district. So this is not church for anybody losing the first game of district. But if you're Troy and you're trying to make a statement, this is the way to do it. 59-35, the score here at Yo Field. Minute 45 to play in our Friday Night Lights Game of the Week. We'll have more coming up, including the trophy presentation with the winner of this one. For now, live in Cameron, Curtis Quillen, Channel 6 Sports.
You know, we knew that Troy was legit, but boy, this kind of cemented it tonight. That they are for real.
Good. This has to happen. I love games like this.
I love it too. Let's stay in District 10-3A Division 1. Academy, well, they finished non-district with a 1-3 record. Not what they wanted.
No, but however, the Bees did score 56-7 win at Florence last week. Could they get past Manor New Tech, who was blown out by Burnett last Friday? Academy leading 29-0 in the second. Jerry Sepis makes a short gain. Here he is. Oh, not yet. That's a short gain. Now into the next play, looking to keep the ball alive. Marks does, running it all the way to the end zone. Here, he's taking it all the way. There's no one there to get him. There's no one there. All right, now they're up 36-0 Bees. Manor New Tech's Dominique Tasby tries to get the Titans into position, but it just won't do. It's not doing. Here we go. Nope. He can't get it. Bees lead 36-0 at the half. Academy was flying high tonight as they win big 57-7.
Over in West, Trojans playing host to number 1 Grandview. The West fans pumped up for this one. We'll pick it up late second quarter. Trojans down 14. Trey Janik finally pushes it in. 4th down. It gets back into West here at halftime. Ensuing drive for Grandview quarterback Dale Ship. He scrambles to his left, dials a strike to Casey English, rumbles down the field for a big old gain, setting up the Zebras before halftime. 2 plays later, Jennings going to connect with Austin Boyd, and he is going to take it to the house. Look at the blockers in front of him. Yeah, he should take it to the house. Number 1 Grandview all over Trojans in this one. Final 42-14.
Now, this next game looked incredible on paper as number 5 Rogers went on the road to face off against a very tough 3-1 Crawford team. Heath Schiller pitches to Jordan Riley, and he's hit. It's a fumble, and it's recovered by Crawford, but they couldn't capitalize. But finally, it's a handoff. He couldn't go up all the way. There he goes. He's going all the way for the score to put Crawford up 28-21.
Ooh, we said this game was going to be good.
No, it was. Crawford, Rogers were both no joke. They end up. Oh, double overtime?
Look at that.
I don't know if it's
Final.
over.
Rogers wins by 7. Incredible. Scores from around Class 3A. Grossbeck. They go on the road to Maypearl and they fall 47-0. Teague and Hempstead playing a classic late in the fourth quarter, 47-34. McGregor, they're down at Whitney, 42-18. Third quarter right now, Lago Vista leading Gerald 28-16. How about this? Number 8, Clifton, stunned tonight by Godley, 15-14. Johnson City all over Florence, 38-7. And Hamilton, big winners over Goldthwaite, 35-20. All right, look, we're just getting started right here on Friday Night Lights. When we come back, we're going to dive headfirst into Class 6A. Stay with us. All right, welcome back. Let's move up to Class 6A, where Midway survived a double overtime scare against Ellison last week.
The Panthers are currently tied with Temple atop District 12 6A. A win tonight over Waco High would keep them in the driver's seat.
Yeah, packed house at Panther Stadium, where Waco High looking to get in the win column for the first time this season. There's Miles Ray and his crew cheering on the Panthers. We're going to pick it up second quarter. Midway leading 20-0. Jared Moore, play action, finds a wide open Duff Hunt in the end zone. 18-yard strike, now 27-zip. Midway. Lions trying to respond. Davion Long hands off to Adrian Rodriguez, breaks a couple of tackles, lowers his head, picks up a 15 yards and a first down. It would put together an impressive drive, 4th and 2 from the 3. Rodriguez trying to score before the half. He is stuffed like a Thanksgiving turkey. Midway led 27-2 at the break, and they roll tonight 55-15.
All right, Ellison, coming off a tough double overtime loss to Midway last week, could they get back on top against the Bulldogs from Coppers Cove? Eagles quarterback Spiller drops back, surveys the field, and hits this man on a deep post for a touchdown, making it 7-0 Eagles. But hold on, the Bulldogs are coming up on the kickoff, and ensuing DeAndre Cox picks up the ball at the 5-yard line. Here he goes. He's going to weave in and out. He bobs back and forth.
Special teams.
And He brings it out to the 38-yard line, and the Bulldogs are in business. Or so we thought. A few plays later, the handoff, and oh no, he coughs it up. The ball gets loose, and they've got it in Bulldog territory. Ellison would improve to 2-1 in district play as they win 21-16.
Over at Leo Buckley Stadium, KILLEEN scoring off against Harker High. Knights were up by 14 until this point. This pass interference call right here is going to set him up in the red zone. Look, he's holding the whole way.
That's
easy.
not allowed.
Curtis Quillen would have had that.
That is not allowed.
All right, which led to this rugby push into the end zone, bringing it to a one-score game, but the Knights would answer. Raquel Mason catches it in the seam. He is gone. That's all speed, folks.
He's going all the way home.
74 yards to the house, but the Roos are not done just yet. Look at him.
He's still
the fans
going.
Are going
We can't
wild.
even get ahead of ourselves.
Looking like Bo Jackson back in the day against Seattle. Deep territory. Let's get in focus right here. You're going to see it in focus.
Hail Mary.
Talk clicking. Oh, what a catch.
Gosh, love that.
Wow. Unbelievable. Making this touchdown. Let's go to the big board. What do we see? Late fourth quarter. Harker Heights leading 35-28.
And what a wild game in KILLEEN last night between SHOEMAKER and BELTON. The Tigers would be forced to punt on their opening drive. Grey Wolves now driving. Ty Bell rolls his right, finds MANOR Baldwin on the check down. Baldwin makes the grab and picks up the first down. Later in the drive, Devin Brown, he runs to the left. 15 yards later, he's in there for the touchdown. SHOEMAKER goes on top, 7-0. Second quarter, after another Belton punt from the half-yard line, SHOEMAKER goes play action. Bell finds Jalen Gilroy all by himself, 14-0 at that point. Belton makes it close late, but SHOEMAKER gets the win at 42-23. They're 2-2 overall, but most importantly, they picked up their first district win of the season.
Very happy for Toby Foreman and his team right there.
Yeah.
Now it's time to announce our Battle of the Bands winner.
This week, Belton faced off against SHOEMAKER, and after a few days of voting, you guys have spoken.
Yeah, congrats goes out to the Belton Tigers. Take a listen, and we'll see you on the other side of this break.
Look at that formation.
This week's Game of the Week is sponsored by Baylor Scott and White Health.
Let's head back to our Game of the Week. Cameron, Yo, Troy. Wow, the Trojans coming up big. A big road win.
We were not expecting this one, but.
Not at all. Let's go out to Yo Field where Curtis Quillen standing by. And I'll tell you what, Troy, what a way to start district play.
Yeah, and a lot of it has to do with Zach Herbacek, the offensive line, the defensive line. Everybody came out to make a statement here tonight for Troy. 59-41. Troy notches its first ever win in school history over the Cameron Yeomen, and they do it on Yo Field. Herbacek rushes for 4 touchdowns in this one. And it was an electric game from the jump. 100 points scored in this one. 59-41 again. Troy wins in this one. In fact, take a look behind me. You can see Troy head coach Ronnie Porter talking to his team about accomplishing something they never did when he played for the Trojans back in the day. In fact, let's see if we can come over here and give them the trophy because it looks like they're kind of ready. First ever win over the Cameron Yeomen, and y'all, I've never seen this team this excited. Ladies and gentlemen, your Week 5 Game of the Week champions, the Troy Trojans. All right, let's talk to Coach Porter real quick. Coach, I know this is something you guys always wanted to do whenever you put on this uniform, and to get the first win over Cameron on Yo Field. How special is this win for this program?
I can't put it in words right now. I'm extremely proud of these guys and what their effort was tonight. I'm speechless. Speechless.
You guys always talk about a really quick start. You come out first drive of the night, an interception that sets up a touchdown, 2 fumbles. You're up 17-0. How proud of you are you that they never looked back?
It was surreal. I'm extremely excited about the way the defense performed tonight, early on especially. But it's surreal. It's almost unbelievable how that started off. I'm very proud of the way the guys came out at halftime because they could have been overconfident and folded at that point, but we came out ready to play a second half, so I'm excited.
We're going to talk to Coach Porter a little longer when we get to the live stream. Don't go anywhere. We're going straight to your phone, Facebook, the Channel 6 app, and KCNTV.com. See you there.
Friday Night Lights is brought to you by Baylor Scott and White Health.
Welcome back to our live stream portion. Dick Canizales alongside Nikki Latarulo. And of course, our game of the week featured Troy against Cameron Yo. We knew it was going to be a classic, boy, but we did not expect this.
Cameron Yo's ranked, but
I mean, Troy came
up.
Hey, we knew Troy was good, but boy, they made a statement. Let's go back out to Yo Field, where Curtis Quillen standing by with all the Trojans. Massive win, like we talked about, and what a great start for this team.
Yeah, Nick, it doesn't get better to start District 10 3A Division I play, a district with 2 teams in the top 10 and another one just outside looking to make a statement and prove that last year was no fluke, finishing 9-3. The Troy Trojans, ranked 16th in the preseason, picked to finish 2nd in District 10 3A Division I, get the school's first ever win over Cameron Yo on Yo Field. 59-41 is the final. And to continue our conversation that was cut just a little bit short by commercial breaks, here's Ronnie Porter, the head coach of the Troy Trojans. You know, you've had a few minutes to think about it. What's going through your head right now?
Still waiting for it all to sink in. Super excited about our kids' effort tonight. I mean, you just really can't. You really can't put enough on them and what they did tonight. They made a decision early in the week, and we had great practices throughout the course of the week and learned our opponent. And very, very proud of the way they executed the game plan.
From the second you guys got off the bus, because we all got here about the same time this afternoon, this was a group that looked more focused than they've been in before. This is a group that looked like they knew what they could accomplish here tonight. I mean, what was your message in that huddle with them after the game?
Don't let this be the best thing you do this year. Consider it as being a step, and we're moving in the right direction. I still feel like we're getting better every game. So that was my word to them, is don't feel like this is the best thing that you're going to do this year. Let's continue to get better. I also told them that we've got our attention now, and so there's going to be people gunning for us as well.
You guys get Gerald next week, and then, you know, you've still got Rockdale looming, another top 10 team.
Absolutely.
What do you guys need to build on from here?
We just got to look at the video and make improvements, because there's definitely things that we got to get better at, because we gave away too many big plays tonight. And part of that was being comfortable, and part of it was just being out of position. So we got to continue getting better at the basics.
Coach, congratulations. Enjoy the win. That's a big one. 59-41. We're going to talk to Ben Presley and Zach Herbacek, but we're actually in the Cameron Yo band's way for a sec. Homecoming night here at Yo Field, so they're trying to perform. All right. Ben Presley, quarterback of the Troy Trojans. What clicked for you guys tonight? Because, I mean, defense forces 3 turnovers on the first 3 drives of the game. You guys capitalize every time with points. What clicked?
I mean, our defense, like you said, was on point today. They had three turnovers. They got the ball back for our offense, and then I relied on our line and Zach to be able to make the plays.
I mean, this is a backfield. I mean, you don't see a lot of teams that go into the wing T, slot T, flexbone type offenses and throw it the way you guys did tonight. What is it about this offense that makes you guys so dangerous?
We try to keep it even so that the defense doesn't know whether we're going to run or throw, because we're pretty good at both. So,
what kind of a statement does this send in your locker room, as you guys still have 5 games left in district?
In our locker room, I mean, this game has already passed. We got to focus on the next games. It'll boost our confidence a little bit, but we can't have a big head throughout the rest of the season.
What was the feeling at the beginning of the season in that locker room? Was there an expectation to be a top 2 seed and compete for a district championship?
We believe that we would have been pretty high ranked up there, and that we were pretty good. But Cameron, that blows my mind.
To be a part of the team that for the first team in Troy High School to beat Cameron Yo, and to do it here in Cameron, how special is this?
It feels awesome, especially on their homecoming. They expected us to be the dogs, and we came out on top.
Ben Presley, congratulations, best of luck to you. Zach Herbacek, the workhorse running back, the do-it-all utility player. You had 4 or 5 touchdowns tonight. I think it was 4. What clicked for you in this game?
Just my offensive line making holes for me like they always do. I have to give all the credit to them for it.
For this offense to do what it did tonight, capitalize on mistakes that your defense forced to score 59 points on the road. How big was that, and how good can this offense be?
It was super big for us. The 3 turnovers definitely gave us all the confidence we needed tonight to get started.
To be able to capitalize on those 3 turnovers, you guys look up 5 minutes in, you're up 17-0. Was it did you guys just keep the ball rolling at that point, or I mean, what was that like?
Our mindset was just it's 0-0 coming out of halftime. Like he said, they're a 4th quarter team and they'll wear you out on the 4th quarter. We knew that coming in there, so we started over at 0-0 at the halftime.
To think about you're on the first team in school history to beat this powerhouse program. How special is that for you? What does that mean to have accomplished this tonight?
It means a lot, but we have a lot better stuff to do than this.
What's next? I mean, how do you guys build on this going through? It's still a tough district. You mean Academy still looms, Rockdale still looms, and then Lago Vista is on the up this year. I mean, what's next for you guys?
Definitely going from Academy to Rockdale and get ready for that game.
That's Zach Krabacek, 4 touchdowns in the win against Cameron Yo tonight. Congratulations. Best of luck to you. 59-41 is the final score from here at Yo Field. And, yeah, Nikki, District 10 3A Division 1. It was sitting like that before the game, and Troy just flipped it over on its head. This is, I mean, talking to Coach Porter in the commercial break, this is a huge win for this school. This is the kind of a win they were needing. This is the statement they were needing to make, to be able to prove to everyone what they can accomplish this season. So hat tip to the Troy Trojans, because they did something that not a lot of people thought that they could. We're going to talk a little bit later about what all of high school football image and kind of.
He was doing a good job, though. No, listen, though. For Troy to win on the road, but here's what I want to see. I want to see them follow up next week, because a lot of teams, you know,
this can't just be like a miracle thing that happens.
We see it in college football all the time. That they win a big game, a team wins a big game, that has a letdown next week.
No.
I think this team is not going to have a letdown.
But I think Cameron Yo also needs to show what they are next week. They can't start playing bad.
No doubt about that. All right, look, listen, let's move up to Class 4A. A huge matchup, and you were there between 4-0 Connally and 3-1 Salado.
Both teams are coming off wins last week. It's the district opener, so the race for the league title starts tonight. Second quarter.
All right,
they're excited. It was homecoming king and queen. Second quarter, Salado up 14-7. Gaither on the keeper takes it about 20 yards down for the first down. Next play, Salado defense playing really well tonight. Javion Sunday on the carry, he gets the first down, but that's about it. They're pushing him back. Their defense is really strong tonight.
Javion Sunday, your player of the week coming up.
Yeah, he was. Now they're in the red zone. Javion Sunday again on the carry, but he can only pick up the first down again. So now it's 3rd and goal. Here he is again. He finally gets the touchdown, tying the game 14 going into half. But, they ended up winning 28-21, but that was no joke. They really... Salado
what a game, because Salado was leading 14-0 at one point. All right, Gatesville, they struggled on defense all season. They're giving up an average of 58 points a game. Could they somehow slow down the Badgers of Lampasas? Well, Ace Whitehead taking the snap, rolls to his right, finds Britton Webb for the touchdown, and 7-zip just like that. Now, after a Gatesville turnover, Whitehead, he is going to step back to pass, goes deep. I have no idea where the secondary's at, because Cameron Everts is there wide ball by himself, walks on in. 14-0. All right, Lampasas' next possession. Whitehead calls his own number. He's going to power his way in for the touchdown, and Lampasas just wore out the end zone tonight. 59-0. They led at half, and that's the final score. 59-zip.
Now, La Vega coming off a 61-0 thumping over Pflugerville last Friday. Tonight they squared off against Midlothian. For the final home game, first quarter, La Vega up 13-0. The Jaguars on 4th and 1, and they went for it. Cade Sumbler, he looked for his receiver, and he went all the way down for a 50-yard touchdown. So they were up 13-7. Here's second quarter. Kenny hands off to Lisa Cummings, and he took it all the way to the 20-yard line, setting up the Pirates in the red zone.
Look at that blocking.
He went, and then he ran out of bounds just to get the first down, stop the clock. Now, next play, he takes it, Kenny on the keeper, he runs it right into the end zone, and they were up 20-7. Let's see what happened. 58-14 the final, but Midlothian looked pretty good. They looked pretty good.
Scores from around Class 4A. China Spring in a wild one. They fall 58-56. I saw on Twitter that the running back, I believe, had over 500 yards rushing. Yeah, that's incredible. Lorena, they fall to Fairfield 41-24 on the road. Mahia wins a shootout between Madisonville 37-30. All right, let's drop down to Class 2A, one of the biggest games in the state of Texas. Number 3 MART taking on number 1 Refugio. The handoff to Rodrell Freeman. He's going to get a block around the edge, and he is going to rush in for the touchdown. So MART would go up 28-6 at one point. Refugio, of course, they're not going away. The Bobcats hand off to Isaro Masakoro. He walks in from the score, 2-point conversion. It's 14-point deficit. MART goes 3 and out. Bobcats with the ball again. Austin Ochoa goes deep to Jordan Kelly, hauls it in. He gets tackled at the 1-yard line, which sets up this short run by Masakoro. Bobcats close the gap, making an 8-point gap at the half. But when we go to the final, Refugio comes out on top,
wow.
48-40.
That's a matchup.
Wow, what a game.
That is. Now, numbering Holland hasn't allowed more than 7 points in a game this season. Tonight, they went head-to-head with the Eagles of Hearne. At the half, they were all tied up 13-13. Hornets have the ball on the crucial 4th down, but Stephen Kraft-Mitchell comes up with a big stop and forces a turnover on downs. Then it's time for Micah Smith to get to work. He finds Jalen Gonzalez in the flat, and the senior wide receiver picks up big yardage down the 30-yard line. Then Smith can't find a receiver. He uses his legs to get the first down. There they go, first down. 2 plays later, Smith scrambles to his left and finds Tyndall in the end zone. There he is.
Oh, nice
Hearne
catch right
goes
there.
up 19-13, but the celebration is short-lived as the Hornets come back with 3 scores and take the lead 34-19 with 4 minutes left in the 4th.
That's how it is.
The final, 34-19, the final up. Holland,
All right,
man,
Holland
they're one to
keeps
watch
rolling.
this season.
Over at Tiger Stadium in Bremond, they were looking to stay unbeaten, taking on Jewett Leon. First quarter, Seth Kozowski. You're going to see him. Oh, look at that fake handoff. Look at the blocking down the field. Wow. He's going to come right in your living room, folks. Turns on the Jets. He is in for the touchdown.
Wow. Just
like that. Blink of an eye. 7-zip. All right, then Bremond, they go back to work on offense. Kozowski to JT Anthony. Where's everybody at? Where's the blocking? They can't even bring this guy down.
There they go.
7 defenders finally bring him down. And then actually the Cougars go to work on offense. Jacob Robinson to Curtis Stanford.
Wow.
He is wide open.
He's going all the way.
He's going to score over the touchdown. Let's go to the big board because Bremond, late 3rd quarter, they're leading 21-14.
And Chilton off to a 3-1 start this young season. Tonight they travel to face off against the Blue Jays. From Snook, more Class 2A non-district action. Snook hosting Chilton over at Allen Academy. Oh, all right. He gets on the edge. But the defense, turnover on downs.
Sorry about that. My clicker's not working.
Same drive. He takes the direct snap and he gets in the end zone. There was the touchdown. And now the 2-point conversion. They don't like kicks. And they were up 16-0. Chilton ends up winning 34-16 the final.
All right, scores from around Class 2A. Bruceville Eddy all over Axtell 55-7. Bosqueville big winners over Itasca 30-24. Who else do we have here on the scoreboard? Italy, big winners over Moody 55-6.
Wow.
Thorndale all over Rosebud Lot 63-0. Frost beats Bartlett 26-6. San Saba, they keep rolling. They're undefeated 49-6 over Ingram Moore. Valley Mills wins huge over Meridian 69-0. And Stanford 1-point winners over De Leon 38-37. All right, look, you saw it earlier. Well, actually, you saw it yesterday, last night, and you just saw the highlights a while ago. Shoemaker, big win.
Thursday night football.
Last night over Belton Shoemaker, big win over Belton last night.
Yes. On
the phone, my main man, Toby Foreman. I know him from Southeast Texas. Coach, what's going on?
What's happening, Nick? Y'all doing all right tonight?
Oh, we are doing excellent. Hey, huge win last night over Belton. To kind of talk about that big district win, we knew going into the season you guys were much improved from last year, and boy, it showed last night.
Well, you know, Belton was kind of banged up. They had some guys that held out for injury. But I felt like our kids really stepped up in that game. And we started off hot, and we hit a little low there at the end of the 3rd quarter, early 4th. But, you know, we managed to hang on and put them away. Coach Skidmore and Belton, those guys do a good job.
And what did you like about your team's effort tonight?
Well, I like the fact that we were resilient. And even when stuff started going bad for us, you know, we managed to stick to our game plan and just, you know, execute, and we didn't panic. And, you know, I do believe that playing Temple so close the week before really helped these guys. They learned from that experience, and that's why we prevailed last night.
Hey, Coach, what's the current mindset? I mean, now you got an extra day to kind of get prepared for next week. What was the mindset last night and today and going forward to next week?
Well, anytime you get an extra day, that's a big deal this time of the year. I'm actually just leaving the KILLEEN Harker Heights game, so I saw several of our kids there. We lifted today, and we ran and watched film from last night. And so now they'll get an extra day to rest, and that definitely matters.
Coach, what do you guys need to work on before your big game coming up next week?
Well, we've got to sit down and watch video as coaches this weekend and kind of scheme up KILLEEN. Coach Searcy does a great job. And, it's an in-town rivalry game. You just saw what happened with Harker Heights. So, I mean, it'll be an emotional game. We've got to be able to control those emotions and concentrate on our assignments and play good football.
And when you look at your district, do you feel like anyone could win on any given Friday?
I know anyone can win on any Friday. I mean, I saw last week Ellison had a chance to beat Midway, and we had an opportunity to beat Temple, and, COVE, had an opportunity to beat Ellison. So anybody can win. It's just who shows up focused and who can maintain that focus throughout the week and throughout the game.
When you see teams across the district, because, most of the time we see that it's usually top-heavy and the bottom half, usually kind of fall. But this year, everybody is within striking distance, playing super well. What does that say as a whole about every single team and just the kids' commitment and buying into all the process and buying into everything that every coach is teaching them?
Well, what it says is we got some dedicated coaches and kids in this district, and we have a very, very tough district. I mean, it's a 9-team league, and I mean, you just can't take a playoff, a day off, an hour off. I mean, because if you do, you're going to be on the outside looking in of the playoffs.
All right, Coach, we appreciate it. Big win last night. Congrats, and best of luck against KILLEEN next week.
Thank you very much, and go Great Wolves.
Bye.
All right. That is head coach Toby Foreman.
Yes.
From those Shoemaker Great Wolves. Hey, we went and paid a visit to them, in the summer, I guess in August.
And Ty Bell was my player of the week.
Yeah, and we knew that they were going to be really good. And Coach, I know sometimes these coaches might sandbag it a little bit and say, well, my team is going to be terrible. We might win 2 games. No. Coach said, hey, this is going to be a really good team. And that win last night showed why.
Yes.
All right, look, let's drop down to Class A. Abbott scoring off against Live Oak tonight. 6-man football is absolutely, they're pretty much the best here. Handshakes all around before this one. Live Oak early first quarter. Jax Miller laying the wood on Reed Black, and that would set the tone for this quarter here. The pitch to Caden Johnson. Junior cuts back and coasts into the end zone. Abbott with the early lead. Here comes Live Oak. A bad snap on a punt, and that is never good on this one.
Right over his head.
Charged up. First down from Mason Peters, because he's going to heave in desperation to his freshman, Will Schumer, for an improbable first down.
He caught it?
Yeah, he caught it.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah, great job by Barry Roy on that one. 4 plays later, Falcons are punching in for the score. That's about as close as it would get because it would be deja vu all over again. Abbott, they win 46-22.
All right, let's check out scores from all over Class A. Aquila and Blum. 54. Well, it says Penelope.
Well, Aquila, wins big over Oglesby, 52-6, and then of course Penelope they fall to Blum, 54-26.
All right, Covington, 61, Walnut Springs, 16, and Golston
knocking off Buckholz,
70. Buckholz, 21.
Who else we have there? Avalon, they crushed Mount Calm, 56-6, and Coolidge, 2 points better than Fort Worth Visa.
Over to Reicher, where since the Cougars don't have a home game in October, they have Breast Cancer Awareness Night. They were trying to snap a 3-game losing streak. Arlington Grace Prep goes to work on offense. Mason Brewer, quick press, Samuel. Ballesteros, yep, can't read those words. 20 yards down the field for a Lion first down. Next play, Brewer finds Chambers on the slant route. Here he goes, 35 yards. Lions lead 7-0. Here comes the Cougars. Jake Boozer handoff to Little Hawk.
So Dondia there. Look at that guy run.
He breaks one tackle, picks up the gain of 25 on the play, but Reicher would turn over on downs. It was all Arlington Grace Prep tonight as they roll past. 42-8. That's the final.
All right, right up the road in Temple, Central Texas Christian scoring off against Fort Worth Calvary Academy. 7-7 in the first. Calvary, Ezra Adams getting the field goal to go. It's 10-7. Conquerors, of course, Lions strike back. Brandon Davis tosses to Carter Smith for the touchdown. 13-10 Lions. Second quarter, Davis going to find his main man, Ryan Turley. He's going to run it in for 6. He's got reservations tonight, 20-10 at that point. And let's go to the final, 65-46. Central Texas Christian falls in this one.
Yep. All right, now, Six-man football, always known to be extremely high scoring, and this first-year program took it to a new level, scoring 93 points, but Jonah Williams scored nearly 50 of those points, and that's why he's our Gridiron Player of the Week. For the first time in school history, Eagle Christian Academy has created a varsity football program. And with the doubts that come with first-year programs, the Eagles are already making their mark.
I'm not here just to have fun and, hey, it's cool we started football. No, I believe in making these kids winners and letting them know what it tastes like. And I think expectations are high now, especially because we've played a couple close games and then, have had some really successful victories.
Last Friday night, the Eagles suited up to play Community Christian and came out on top 93-64, which broke a record of most points ever scored by a first-year program. Nearly 50 of those points came thanks to Jonah Williams, who scored 8 touchdowns.
He's our main scorer. I can definitely block for him, but he's definitely the person that goes around to the other people, and it's just like he got this type of energy that we don't know where it came from.
He was running plays that, it looked like he was down, and then you'd look up and he was running for 60 yards, and you're like, oh my goodness, where did that come from?
For Jonah, the points weren't what really mattered to him. What did matter was setting a good example and showing good sportsmanship.
We sort of had a little bit of bad blood with the other team. I think that gave us a real purpose to glorify God because they weren't really setting a good example. And I think we needed to show them that this is good sportsmanship. You can have a good performance without having that kind of attitude.
And when things don't go right for the Eagles, Jonah is there to encourage them to keep pushing.
He's very encouraging. If you mess up, he's going to be like, good job. And if the other team is being unencouraging and not very nice and making us frustrated, then he's always encouraging us to be better people on and off the field.
And while this is their first year as a team, the Eagles all have the same one goal in mind.
I think it just shows that we're really out here to make a difference.
And that is a first-year program that is going to make a difference because they have had some big wins, and they scored the most points ever by a first-year program.
That is incredible.
Ever. So they broke some records.
Jonah,
our guy. We love this program from the beginning.
You know what we love? We also love Curtis Quillen. He is out at Yo Field where he saw an unbelievable game. Curtis, what is your take on this game? Because
He's so happy.
Look, we knew coming in there was a possibility this could happen.
Yes.
But when you look at the final score, we didn't think that this was going to happen this bad.
Right, we talked about if Troy won this one, it would be, who's got the ball last and, a one-score game, not a three-score game. I don't think anybody saw an 18-point win on the road happening. I thought if Troy wins this one, it's by 6, 7, 8 because of small school 2-point conversions or even 3. So I thought it was going to be single digits if Troy won tonight. They came out and made a statement. To beat the best, you have to just straight up beat the best. And tonight they came out, they forced mistakes on the Cameron Yo offense, which is not characteristic. And I'm not just talking about penalties, excuse me. My allergies have been awful for 2 or 3 weeks, and Nick, you can attest to that. They didn't just come out and just kind of go up against the offense of Cameron Yo. They forced the Yeomen into mistakes. Interception, fumble, strip tackle, those kinds of things got the ball rolling, and from there, the incline just got steeper going downhill. So it was a seriously impressive domination. I think it goes without saying. I think it's pretty much a safe bet that this is the most impressive win in the area tonight here in Central Texas. The only one that I think can compete with it would be Fairfield's win over Lorena. But we'll get to that in a second. I think that if you're Troy and you're trying to prove that we can win District 10 3A Division 1 and we can make a run in Region 3. This is the game you needed to win to prove that, and that's exactly what happened here tonight.
About that, the massive win, Zach Krabosic, he is just an absolute stud. And we, all three of us, have said before that if you stop him, you might stop the team. Nobody's been able to stop him yet.
Well, when I spoke to Cameron Yo's head coach, he said that they had to stop him.
Yeah, Tommy Brashear.
They said, oh, that's going to be our
And remember
biggest
the 6 o'clock earlier, Tommy Brashear even said, you've got to stop Herbacek.
That's what he said.
We asked him, how do you do that? And it's like, easier said than done. Well, tonight he had 4 touchdowns. I think it's one of those. I think it's kind of like, you know, guarding Steph Curry in the NBA. You don't stop him, you contain him. You know, you score 59 points. He only had 4 of those. Maybe you take that as a win, because he is explosive, and there's not a coach on Troy's schedule who has anything but good things to say about Hrbacek, just because of the kind of young man he is, and I mean, just the kind of runner he is. You heard that interview earlier. He gave all the credit to the offensive line, and that's not the first time he's done that. When we talked to Coach Porter at practice during August, he even said, you know, for as good as Zach is at, you know, finding the crease and exploding through it, he knows that if the line doesn't block, he doesn't get those yards. And so he's a very cognizant young man. You see him after the touchdowns that he runs. He's not celebrating. He's just, okay, on to the next play. It's really refreshing to see. He's going to do great things. And, guys, I cannot stress this enough. He's a junior.
The guy rushed for 2,000 yards as a sophomore.
Yeah.
He's going to be all-state as a junior.
Wait for he's a senior.
Next year as a senior, he's only going to get bigger and better.
Yeah.
I hope Division I teams are watching this kid, because no matter what the size is, what he does on the football field is
it doesn't even matter.
And it shows
he's
right
up against big kids, and he's having 4 touchdowns by this team, ranked team. Says
Just
a lot.
look at the tape.
Says a lot. Just look at the tape.
Keep in mind, Troy was number 16 in the preseason, so that's a really, really good team beating another really, really good team. The difference is, you know, Nick, we talked about this last week in the studio. In high school football, pedigree wins, and in this game, pedigree belonged to Cameron Yo. But, that's a heck of a win from Troy.
It is. You know,
what else do you want to talk about?
Well, I know a lot of viewers might at home might say, well, man, you know, you guys are making a big deal out of this Troy win. It is. It's huge. But let's pump the brakes here, because it is the opening district game. There's plenty of time left to go, plenty of games left, because you never know what might happen, because this district is really good.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to think about something. Lago Vista beat Gerald tonight. Academy beat Manor New Tech, and Troy beat Cameron. Rockdale was off this week. So you look at that 3-way tie at the top of the table in District 10 3A Division I. Yeah, cool. 3 teams are 1-0. Academy beat a really, really just not great Manor New Tech.
Let's just tell like it is. They're terrible. Manor New Tech is terrible.
Yeah, I mean, Gerald's not the greatest high school football team ever, but Lago Vista's on the up. So you look at it and it's like, okay, who has the good win? Troy. So to me, that puts them at the top of the district table. And then I'm actually going to pull up their schedule real quick. I know they host Gerald next week. That's homecoming for the Trojans. And then I think I have it right here. Live coverage of me looking something up.
We're on Facebook Live all over the place over here.
This is the high school football
I'm loading it. I was on the O schedule.
Obviously, he has the schedule pulled up.
All right. Gerald at home, at Academy, and then home for Rockdale. I just want to go out on a limb and say 2 of their next 3 games. After next week, their homecoming game against Gerald, that's 2 straight games against probable playoff teams. 1 at the new stadium, a team that, you know, Academy, the Bees took their lumps in non-district, but look at their non-district schedule. That's at the time, the number 12 team in 3A Division II, Rogers, who is now the number 5 team in the state. Then the next week they go to Salado, a division above them, bigger enrollment, bigger kids.
Salado,
just more
they led Connally 14 in
Salado looked really good tonight.
Yeah. Salado, I mean, guys, the 3 of us talked about this at our desks earlier. The Dave Campbell's computer rankings, the entire District 8 4A Division II, which opened district play tonight, and it's inevitable we're going to talk about them at some point tonight. They're all ranked in the top half of 4A Division II. Going into the night, Mahia was the lowest at 37, which would have put them in first place in a 4th of the districts in 4A Division II. Wow. Think about that for a second. They were the lowest ranked team in the district and ranked higher than a 4th of the state.
That's crazy.
That
just says
there's some good teams.
There is a really good team.
Really good teams.
You know, Connally squeaking out a big win.
But it wasn't pretty at all. It really wasn't. I saw it, and Salado's defense played incredible, and their offense, they have some tricky offense that was really confusing everyone, and Connally couldn't really stop them, and they were up 14-0 at one point, and they ended up
nobody can stop
losing.
the
But
triple
it
option.
was It was a really
the triple option, the misdirection. Hey,
they
it
looked
fools
really
us all
good.
the time.
It fooled me, but they looked really good.
I need to text Coach Hare and find out which kind of triple option offense they run, the slot tee, the wing tee, or the flex bone. Whatever it is, it works because, I mean, think about it. These teams in that district are scheduling non-district games specifically to get experience in defending the triple option because Salado runs it so beautifully. 2 years ago, if you go and you watch Hayden Hare in that 2017 run to the state quarterfinals, my God, the man was like a magician back there. It was unbelievable. I hated shooting Salado games, though, because it's like, oh, where's the ball? Where's the ball?
But you're the
That's what I was saying today. I couldn't find the ball. I couldn't find it. I was shooting. I was like, I have no idea where the ball is. And I don't think Connally didn't know where the ball was either. There was a fumble. They didn't know where the ball was. And that's what put them ahead in the beginning because their offense was tricking everyone.
They switched to that offense in 2016 when Alan Harrow arrived back home in Salado because he said he wanted something they could own and they wanted something they could be really, really good at. They have the athletes to run the triple option, and they execute it as well as anybody in the state. That is I mean, when we were talking to Ray Biles before the season, he even said the main reason he plays Franklin in the non-district is to get that experience to go up against Salado, an opponent that they have to play later this year. And y'all, that is going to be. I mean, Salado's tough to defend, and last year they opened up district play against Connally at home and beat them. They caught Connally looking a week too far ahead at Lorena instead of looking at the game ahead.
It almost happened again. I really thought it wasn't looking too good for them. They weren't looking as good as they have been all season. You know,
other 4A, La Vega comes out big winner. 6A.
Wonder if maybe Lorena got caught looking.
Yeah, it could be.
Yeah.
Like Lorena,
Lorena got caught maybe looking that far ahead today.
A lot of teams didn't.
I mean, I don't think Fairfield's a better team than Lorena.
No, not
I
at
really
all.
Don't.
Not at all. You know, over in 6A, we just talked to Toby Foreman a while ago, and we were talking that, hey, this is a much improved Shoemaker team from last year,
definitely.
especially from several years ago when they didn't win a game for a while. This team is making some noise, a huge win over Belton last night, and like Coach Foreman said, the parity in this district, anybody can win on any given Friday because look what Ellison did, took Midway to double overtime. I know Midway had a big win over Waco High today. And
I think all these teams could. I really don't think we could tell right now.
What was that KILLEEN
We need a
Harker
few
Heights
more
score?
games.
The KILLEEN Harker Heights score, I am not sure.
I think it was close because he said you saw what happened to them. You saw what happened to
I
Harker
believe.
Heights, so I think it was like an upset.
I don't want to give out misinformation.
I'm pulling it up because
we have so many scores thrown at us.
Pull it up.
But
I think that was an elimination game. I really do.
Midway looked good, of course, but Waco High is down. They're young. Like I said, Belton's going to bounce back.
35-28, Harker Heights beat KILLEEN.
Okay.
What a great win. Of course, Temple was off this week. They're going to be playing next week in a big matchup.
And a big one.
Yeah.
A big one.
A big one like we had last year, a triple overtime game.
The one that went to 3 overtimes when I lost my freaking mind. Ooh, boy. That was a fun one last year.
Curtis Willow was screaming.
Curtis lost his mind. I have to see that again this year.
2A.
It's on my Facebook page. I'll have to show it to you.
I know.
Please show me.
Look, the massive game around the state, MART Refugio.
Yes.
MART has got 3 losses on the season. And some people might say, oh, what is wrong with MART? Listen, MART has played some of the most ridiculous schedules so far. Number 1, Refugio. They played HOLLAND, who is still just rolling along.
Holland is still rolling.
I forgot who else did they lose to. Yeah. But MART is just getting prepared because they're going to steamroll.
Think about this, Nick. Think about this. I'm going to run you through MART's non-district schedule.
Okay.
2A Division I ranked Bosqueville to open the season. 2A Division I ranked Holland in week 2. 3A Division I ranked Franklin in week. No, I'm sorry. Franklin had just dropped out of the top 10.
But they were.
They were
right top 15, top 20.
Lost to Lorena 42-21. But Franklin has MART has an enrollment of like 150 kids, and Franklin has more than 350 kids.
Yeah.
So think about that for a minute. They're more than twice the size of MART High School.
Nikki didn't realize that.
Wait,
how small these teams
so
are.
they're 1 and 2. They have a get right win against 2A Division I Riesel in a rivalry game last week, and then tonight they played the #1 team in 2A Division I on the road. 4.5 hours that way at Jack Sportsman Bobcat Stadium.
They were winning, I think, 28-6 at one time.
They were up 28-20 at halftime.
Or 28-20 at halftime.
Yeah, they were up 28-20 at halftime. Like, to go 4.5 hours down the road, play the #1 team in the division above you, put them on the ropes,
Leading on the road.
and only lose to them by 8. Nothing is wrong with Mart.
No.
They're just young right now. They took their lumps in non-district.
And they're playing hard
I promise
teams.
you, the message in that locker room from Kevin Hoffman tonight, was, guys, we are fine. Because from here on out, the next 11 games are against schools our size.
That's true.
Yeah.
And what
They have
what
not played
they
a
done?
single 2A Division
What
II
have they
school.
done the last several years with schools that is the same size? They have destroyed them. And this is only going to make them better because people don't
I
realize.
want you to think about this. They were a buzzsaw last year, right? We knew going into the season Mart was going to win state. So, week 3, they host Franklin and lose 21-0. And then they rattled off 14 more wins in a row to win another state championship.
It just happens.
It does.
It's early
They go
on.
to
They're
Franklin.
young. You gotta.
Yeah. This year they go to Franklin and lose by 4.
Yeah, it's.
I don't think there's anything wrong with them. I think Refugio's better than they were last year. Of course, one thing that cannot be overstated is that Mart forced Refugio to change offenses last year.
Yeah.
When they met in the state championship game 2 years ago, Refugio was a spread team. When they met at Mart ISD Stadium last year, Refugio was a flexbone team. They were running what they called the flex cat offense. After that game, when they got drubbed by Mart, they went back to the coast, and in their bye week, they went back to the spread and made it all the way to the regional final against the eventual state champion, Mason Punchers.
Yeah, and that's Paris, our web girl. And I want to make something real
Shout
clear.
out Paris, if you're watching.
Curtis is not in McGregor. He's in Cameron right now. That's my fault. I had the wrong town up in the graphic, so he's not in McGregor.
No.
He's in Cameron, right now. But Curtis,
Can we go back and talk about the 6A district real quick?
Yeah, go ahead. Let's go ahead.
I don't know that we. You mentioned the parity. I think at this point we have it down to 7 teams. Of course, there's enough football left that could easily change because there's 6 weeks of football left. And so that's 5 games for most of these teams because Ellison's got a week 11 bye, Heights has a week 10. There's always a team off. This week was Temple. Next week, I believe, is Midway, and then the week after that is Belton. So you look at that district, and I think right now you've got 7 teams for 4 spots. I think Midway's fine. They're 3-0. Think about, if you're 3-0, you're basically on the cusp of mathematically clinching a playoff spot. And so, I mean, with a 9-team district, that is hard to do. If you can win 4 games, I think the 5th one, it's Sharpie. But you can put it in erasable pen at 4. So I think we've got 3 spots left at this point. We've got Temple contending for 1, Belton, Coppers Cove, KILLEEN. KILLEEN Ellison, KILLEEN Shoemaker, Harker Heights. I mean, this is, you talk about parity. We haven't seen since I've been at Channel 6. This is my 4th football season in Central Texas. Since I've been here, there has not been a district with this much parity in it. There just hasn't been.
It hasn't.
Except for last year, District 8 4A Division 2, which is just like that again this year. But it's just, at this point, Nick, and Nikki, I want your answer too. You have to. You're handcuffed, and the only way you can get out of the handcuffs is picking your 4 playoff teams out of 12-6A. Who are you going with?
All right. Midway, Temple, Belton, Shoemaker. That's who I'm going to go with.
I feel like.
Ooh. Okay, Nikki?
I think they're going to. That's my dark horse. Shoemaker's my dark horse. I think they're going to sneak in.
I also like Shoemaker because I don't have like a biased opinion from last season. So I don't know. I haven't seen Temple play in person yet.
It's not a biased opinion.
Yes,
it's a new season.
I don't know any of the teams from last season.
But you know what, Ellison? If Ellison continues to play like they did last week, and then this week listen. Don't sleep on Ellison either. Ellison's a very solid team. Coach Wright, he's doing a great job out there. They could sneak in as well.
I don't even know that you can call it sneaking in at that point. You ready for mine?
Go, let's hear it.
Let's hear Curtis's, the guru.
It's gonna stun you. All right, Midway Temple.
Yeah.
Belton.
No.
Oh, I got to think about these last two.
No?
Hey, they're about to cut the lights on.
Ellison's the 3, Belton's the 4.
Really? So Ellison.
I'm going with Ellison as the 3, Belton is the 4. I think Belton's good enough to get into the playoffs. They've got the numbers. They're like twice the size of the next school in the district.
I want to see how they play against Temple then, maybe.
I think they're fine.
We got to see more action.
So, I mean, think about this. Last year, that Temple-Belton game, it was like, okay, really doesn't mean much for Belton from a playoffs perspective. All of a sudden, that game comes into the picture, and that Midway game comes right back into the seeding picture in the playoffs when Coppers Cove beats Temple, proving all 8 district games really do matter.
They do.
And that, I mean, we thought, okay, cool. Temple beat Belton. Doesn't matter. That Temple-KILLEEN game's probably going to be for Division I seeding, and Belton's probably going to win it because they've got home field advantage. That's exactly the way it played out. It was a sloppy game because it was pouring down rain for 5 weeks at that point. I think Noah's Ark was right outside Tiger Field during that game. It was insane. Then you're like, cool. We beat KILLEEN. We're mathematically in the playoffs, and it looks like we've got the 1 seed in Division I. Cove beats Temple week 11, forces Midway, who beat Belton week 11, to go Division I as well. All of a sudden, that loss to Midway, which just happened, bites you in the other ankle. Now you're the 2 seed, and you have to go to Rockwall. I mean, if just the way it would play out at that point, Nick, if it plays out the way that I think it will, Ellison and Belton would go Division I, and Ellison would host Mesquite. And then Belton would go back to Rockwall. Yep. And then Belton would go back to Rockwall, and Temple,
I think you're getting ahead of yourself.
Gets on a bus, goes out east, and they go to a little place that the Texas high school football world likes to refer to as Lobo Stadium, which is a world of its own.
Curtis is thinking so far ahead.
I'm looking 7 weeks ahead.
He is.
You need to backtrack. We're in week 5 here, Curtis. Curtis can talk about high school football all day. We need to cut him off.
Like you said, we're in week 5.
We're going to cut him off.
I'm fascinated by all of this. I think 12-6A and 8-4A Division II are the 2 districts. If you're going to buy tickets to a school that you have no vested interest in, make it one of the 6A schools here in Central Texas or make it one of the 4A Division II schools. Those 16 teams are going to be so much fun.
You're absolutely right. Hey, go get some rest. Go get something to eat. Step out Whataburger. And next week, Temple, Belton.
Yes.
It's going to be a classic.
It's going to be rocking.
We're going to have all kinds of stuff throughout the week.
Are we announcing it right here, right now?
No.
We'll wait till Monday.
Maybe, but you get
we'll
what
wait till Monday.
You pick up what we're throwing down.
Tell Ryan Fight did a great job out there.
Yes,
well,
his
you guys
hand has
hold
to be
down
tired.
the fort for me over the weekend. I'll be texting y'all while I'm up at a wedding in Oklahoma. And for those of you who are watching this on your phones at home, Nikki and Nick are going to hold down the fort this weekend. I'm going to be at a wedding in
He's not getting married.
I just jersey fist bumped.
Nick, you'll be at the Baylor game tomorrow.
That was terrible.
All right. We'll go pick up your date tomorrow morning. All right, it's Curtis Quillen.
Curtis can talk all night. We need to cut him off while we can.
All right, week 5 officially done. Week 6 starts up on Monday.
How is this flying by so fast? It's freaking me out.
It's flying by. We only have 5 more weeks left and then playoff time. So finally, we are headed home. Thank you for watching.
Everyone go to bed.
We will see you next Friday night under the lights.